Off and on the clock, week 18. I'm here with these badge bros, these guys that love to scroll down, punt it off with the shittiest goddamn plays you've ever seen. Not for me this week. They might be able to do it. They might be able to indulge, but not me. No, I'll tell you guys the best plays. We can talk about Bijan Robinson. We can talk about Bucky Irving. You know, we'll do that till the cows come home. We'll reluctantly build some pick'ems, but I will be putting some insurance on those bad boys just to keep it nice and safe, nice and cozy. Raise the floor. That's what we're doing around here. Off and on the clock. I'm Pete, the Cash Game King, with John and Nez. Let's do it. All right, fellas. There's been a lot of haters lately. They're like, all Pete cares about is cash. Nez and John are hoops guys right now. There's a lot of criticism out there of like, are we dialed in for this slate as much as we are normally?
I'm currently sitting in the $50 head-to-head lobby for the 13-game slate. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you I'm dialed in, I don't know what else does, Pete.
Wow. I mean, me personally, I've been trying to get myself in the mindset of cash game, Pete. I've taken zero risk this week. I haven't made a left turn all week driving.
Good.
No risks over here.
Yeah. Normally I come off of the show with JM. We get all these galaxy brain ideas in my head, play both Patriots tight ends together. But I'm coming off a show with Derek Carty where we talked about 14 plays total. It was the only plays. I mean, it was such a play the best play show that I brought up JSN and he was like, like that's the level of quality we were bringing to the plays.
I thought JSN was a guy we were going to agree on here. I put him on the cover as like a bridging.
Different game.
Oh my goodness.
I will say, I differ with Cardi a little bit on JSN. His argument was he was reading some coach speak about them wanting to get DK to a 1K receiving yard season. And he's like a little worried about the roles kind of flipping this week. And I was like, they haven't flipped all year.
Does he have a coach speak input to his model? I mean, were you talking to Derek Carty? That's who you're talking to? Wow.
He gets his hand in the press conference dirt in 2025, apparently. What for real for you guys? What contests are you guys playing this week? Like, are you going to max the BR? You better be maxing the double doink, but what else are you guys playing?
I'm going to play my usual volume. I kind of like it. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable clicking these names right now. This is kind of fun. I'm playing my normal volume of everything Underdog, so I'll play. I never end up maxing the BR, but I'll play at least 50 in the main BR, and then I'll play the DeBombs and the $25 and those stuff. So I'm interested in it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a lot. I mean, I did some homework, of course, before this sleep, but I'm hoping to get a lot of insight from, Mr. Cash himself, because a lot of these plays parallel to Underdog. So I'd like to do my usual high stakes stuff, and give my, my $500 donation to the DeBomb participants that I just have not even come close to sniffing a meaningful cash for this season. So I'll do my high stakes stuff after this show, and I'm extremely dialed. But I mean, what a week, man! What a week!
Can we? I gotta get this off my chest. We gotta walk back this JSN scenario for 1 second here. I'm really curious. Well, the JSN's 4 catches away from a milestone as well. DK 61 yards away from a milestone, and the quote that they had about each of them was just recycled twice. Like it was just Ryan Grubb saying that. Yeah, I don't even know.
Well, John, can I just let you know, we are talking about 2 different game formats here. We're talking about draft games. We're talking about salary cap. There are different constraints on where you can take wide receivers. And this week, it is tough to be if you want to talk redacted with me right now, John, we can roll up our sleeves and get into it. I think JSN is fine on Underdog this week. I did a run of double doinks earlier, and he ended up, I think, on 2 of my 10 teams. So he's in the best play conversation on Underdog for sure.
All right. That's all we had to get on there. And I mean, I am wearing my Hand Builders cash game shirt here. Shout out to our guy Car Park for the dirty hands, clean money.
That guy sent me a DM, and I think you guys got all of the merch, and then I never got anything. So I'm feeling pretty disrespected now that you say it. Is he the guy that has like the alcohol company too?
I don't
It's
think
not
so.
that I'm aware of. Yeah, no.
Maybe I'm mixing it up.
Yeah,
People all want to send the Cash Game King their various paraphernalia.
I'll hit up Car Park and make sure that he sends you some gear because I drank an entire fish tank out of this water.
Look at you guys fucking all geared out over here.
Sorry, Pete, we're big time now. Cash Game. I mean, you do these Cash Game, shows, and they don't bring as much views, man. You got to switch over to the GPP side.
You're sucking the liquidity out of the pool. Nobody can afford the merch anymore. That's the Cash Game guy.
I get it. Look, I get it. It's my cross to bear. I understand. All right, let's talk. Nez, how excited are you about Bijan week? I know in all of your week 18 contests, this is why you were drafting Bijan 101 overall in
yeah, that really hits. No, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Bijan 101 with a bullet today, it seems like, unless people are really chasing this Mike Evans 1,000-yard milestone. I don't know if you guys have seen a Twitter account by the name of Sal Betts put out these incentives. So I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
I saw your dad even saw
it. My dad did text me a link to the tweet, and I was like, God, there's too much overlap between my online life and my real life right now. Yeah,
you know how that's how we failed as content creators, is that our parents are sending us links of our peers, and God knows no one's sending our links to any dads or sons.
Yeah, I gotta let them know, like, hey, I hit this one, like, I'm following Sal's timeline, man. I got nothing for you about your streams, bud.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bijan week, man, is definitely my 101. They actually have something to play for, right? I mean, it's fingers crossed. Like it's not very likely, but they do have something to play for. So I think you're going to see a healthy dose of Bijan. And just with my eyeballs, my eye test tells me that Bijan is improving quite a bit as a runner. Early on in this season, he was really gung ho and didn't have a lot of patience. He seemed like very top heavy, just like not patient at all, waiting for his runs. Lately, you're seeing a lot more patience from him. So. I think they're going to just showcase him and just let him ball out and let that be the cherry on top of the season. Hey, we got Bijan, we got Michael Penix. Things are going to be okay. We promise.
Literally, the only concern is if it's too much of a boat race and they're just smashing them so much that Tyler Algier gets 12 carries or whatever in the second half.
The other one that I would ask,
yeah, John.
Well, the other one I would ask you guys is, would there be any concern of they look up at the scoreboard at halftime and they go, "Oh, Bucks are up 21," and now we can take our foot off the gas a little bit like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's with these coach, like, it's so tough, right, to play the coach, the rational coaching game. Because, last year, like, Keenan Allen, I think week 18, went nuts, and it just, didn't make, or maybe I'm getting my season.
I think it was 2 years. That was 2 years ago. Last year was, that was 2 years ago. Last year was the whole thing with the Lions playing their starters thing.
Yeah, Dan Campbell making the goofiest move of all time. So yeah, it's tough to make these rational coaching decisions like that. But I think that the Panthers have shown enough too that they can actually make this a close game, and this could actually be one of the higher scoring games on the slate.
Yeah, they're pesky right now.
That's the exact thing. When I wrote about the Bucks last week, I was like, this team is the perfect team for fantasy because they're just plucky enough to keep in the game, but just bad enough that everyone can get home.
It's perfect. He's perfect.
So I have this take, and obviously it's, on Redacted, it's impacted by salary, but I prefer Brian Thomas straight up to Mike Evans this week. Am I alone on that take, or do you guys agree with the ADP here?
I agree with the ADP. I like the Mike Evans stuff a little bit more. I like the game environment of the Brian Thomas stuff more, obviously. I think that one, it might even be too nice for Slop It Up to say that about a Jags Colts game. But now, especially knowing we're getting Flacco again here, I think it's a salary thing. I think if you just 1-to-1 them, I would take Mike Evans. But the difference in salary for the redacted builds makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you on the Brian Thomas stuff. It's just everywhere you look, and maybe these projections are all based on the fact that people are chasing this 100-yard, receiving prop for Evans, but like Evans looks better, like pretty by a pretty wide margin. But when you look, I mean, by like 20 yards over Brian Thomas, but like this game does look really awesome for Brian Thomas. I think the game environment is way better for Brian Thomas, like way better.
Well, because the whole thing, so the Mike Evans incentives are 5 for 85, 85 unlocks the 1K season, and then the 5 receptions unlock these other bonuses. Like that's a good game, but it's not paying off the 102. like you need to smash. And also like we just watched this Bucs team, right? Against a very similarly bad opponent, spread the shit out of the ball. They were throwing the ball to a guy named Culp. That's how easy it was for them. Jalen McMillan fully broken out. I believe Kate Otten is back at practice as well. Rashad White is not going away. Like Rashad White is going to get touches. Like they have so many weapons that I do worry about him being able to consolidate into just like a massive 150-2 game, where 150-2 is very much on the menu for Brian Thomas.
Very. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like it's like you just got to look past some of those like, you know, the projections that you see in various markets and understand like the ceiling case. If we're talking, of course, GPPs, which, you know, it's what we do around here. 14-point favorites for the Bucs, man. They're gonna smash.
What about? Do you guys think? I was going to ask, what do you guys think about the Lattimore narrative? The no more Lattimore. He's been bottled up for so many years against the Saints.
Hasn't he like debunked that in previous spots already? Hasn't he gotten the best of him?
No, I don't think it's ever. Never? I don't think he's ever scored on him.
Really?
I think it's still held true until the day he was traded.
So now we're stacking narratives on for Mike Evans. Yeah,
Pete, that, as a profound GPP bro of the Scroll the F Down community, I must stack these narratives.
This is a sneak preview. We are sliding up Brian Thomas later. Just I mean, you could throw your little shield on there. You can protect it if you want, but we're sliding the shit out of Brian Thomas later.
I mean, looking at these picks at the top, I think probably one that is probably the most fragile would be Jaden Daniels as far as like their motivations and stuff here. Do you guys agree with that, or do you have no problem with it?
It doesn't seem like they have much incentive to keep him out there, right? Am I missing something on there? No, I'm scared to death of that. I would not be touching Jaden Daniels at QB2, especially at top 10 ADP.
That's what I mean.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you guys there. The coach speak stuff indicated that they have something to play for because they really care about seeding, blah, blah, blah. That was the only little nugget I had on that. And that they do intend to play the starters. But I also had a true gal brain Scroll the F Down on the other side of that equation that implies that I don't think they hold true to their word. And we're going to find ourselves seeing at least a second half of Trey Lance in that ball game.
They kind of teased it, right? Didn't the conversation come up? I thought I got a notification at some point.
Yeah. It's like one up in the air right now where they're saying they're aware of Cooper Rush's incentives because he has some decent incentives about total snaps played on the season. I think he's at like 52% and he needs to get to like 54% of total offensive snaps played to unlock another like 1 million or something like this. I'm just kind of spitballing what I read earlier. I don't know. Is that incentive to play him, or is that incentive, do right by your guy, or protect the money, protect this house? Let's get a look at Trey Lance, right? You can read it two ways.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to purposely shaft him. From the coaching staff perspective, it's not coming out of their pocket. But yeah, I guess I am. People are saying that the Commanders do want to win. They want to avoid the Eagles. That does sort of change things a little bit. But I just, this iteration of the Cowboys, it's not going to take a lot to beat them. Though.
And that's the whole question, right? Is like some of these teams aren't wired, like the Bucs, like the Lions, where they're just willing to chuck. I guess the Commanders have been kind of in between those middle states. Like they've had so much success with the deep ball this year, but they could tell me this is not a game where you're saying, yes, we want to win, but we're going to limit those designed rush attempts for Jaden Daniels, because the last thing we want is him taking a crack to the ribs before the playoffs.
Yeah, you would certainly think.
Yeah, you get down to the goal line and all of a sudden it's not Brian Robinson, it's not Bijan Robinson, or it's not Jaden Daniels, and it's like bring in whoever, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that's the concern is more on these. And for you GPP bros, like if you're looking for the, upside options, like that really starts to put a cap in those scenarios. Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, for my purposes, double doink purposes, those guys look very undervalued.
Yeah, I think they definitely walk away with the position in a big regard. Like if you're just looking at the tight end position, you can poke holes in a lot of the narratives of the guys behind, but both those teams look to be playing kind of like full bore. I think the Brock Bowers conversation is really interesting because depending on what Malik Neighbors does in the morning window, in the afternoon window, he'll have the narrative to chase the all-time record, to break Puka's record. Provided Neighbors doesn't break it in the morning. But regardless of what happens, he's going to have a target number to hit in terms of receptions. So I do think that's pretty enticing because that kind of gives him the little leg up for me over the Trey McBride this week.
Yeah. What is Johnny over Kittle is kind of interesting to me. I mean, like how many weeks in a row does Kittle just have to prove his supremacy?
I think it's probably the Joshua Dobbs thing coupled with Miami having something to play for.
They got okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. And the Q tag, man. People are always scared of Kittle Q tags. What did he even? Is that what's the update on there? Did he practice? He was limited, so
he's been like that all year.
I know.
Yeah, didn't we see, like, help refresh my memory? I mean, we saw Dobbs last year have some big games with McBride. Then he went to Minnesota and had some big Hawkinson games. Like Dobbs can get the ball to the tight end.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with the sentiment that John is saying, that I think that's baked in, but I agree with you. I want Dobbs. I'll take Dobbs in GPP, bro.
Like it. I like that. That seems fun.
What is his rank on DraftKings or on Underdog? What's his QB rank?
I think he's QB 11. Yeah.
Wow, man. Look at this. This could be where the cash game king and the Pete Overzet deposit kingdom gems, bro, comes together. We just handshake and Joshua Dobbs.
You're about to blow cash game king's mind with this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, no, Dobbs looks awesome. You get the dome spot here. I literally just got a DM. This is what happens when you're cash game week. I got a DM. Shout out from Jesse Martin. Jawan Jennings' quarterback his freshman and sophomore year at Tennessee was Josh Dobbs. Just want to make sure you don't leave any stone unturned this week.
Wow.
Because I was kind of poo-pooing the Jawan Jennings on Redacted when we were going through it. Debo's coming on, Ricky Pearsall breakout. And now my mind's a little blown by this college shower narrative.
Shower narrative is in play. The Debo one's interesting because he has a Q tag right now. I'm looking at the practice report as we speak here. Debo back-to-back DNPs with the rib injury. So, I mean, this target tree could be more condensed than we're accustomed to, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that starts to be really interesting here. And I mean, Arizona's been a matchup to target all year too. I mean, they're very forgiving there. Yeah, I like it. I'll give you guys the stamp of approval on Joshua Dobbs.
Wow. This is the steam that is coming on the Jennings Dobbs stuff here as both scroll the F down and cash viable plays.
I guess other people here at the top, Malik Neighbors, like buying or selling Drew Lock, having like the 10th best quarterback game of all time in back-to-back weeks.
I think we'd have to sell that notion, but I mean, I don't know. I'm intrigued to see if Eagles are resting everybody. I'm pretty fine with going back to the Neighbors. Well, I'm not sure I'll play Drew Lock. I was kind of pissed at myself. I didn't get there for at least a share or two last week when I was building Kenny Pickett doubles all morning long, that I didn't think to go as far as getting some Drew Lock ones going. But I'm fine with the Neighbors ADP. I'm fine where he's at. I think the bull case for him is chasing the record and playing against backups, and they have no incentive to pull him, basically. So I'm cool with it there. And I think the crowd behind him, like I like London there, and then it kind of just falls off a cliff and you mix and match. So I kind of like keeping him propped up.
Yeah, I will say just in general this week, I just love all of those rookies. And, we talked about them on the top of the board. You got Brock Brian Thomas, Neighbors. Those guys are all the ones in contention to lead all rookie wide receivers in receiving yards too. That's why, Brian Thomas wants to hold those guys off. You mentioned the other incentives there for Brock. Like, it's really hard to poke holes in any of those three rookies. I think they are the biggest hole to poke is just Drew Lock is one of their quarterbacks. But other than that, like, they are set up nice, and not having to go against the Eagles starters is a huge boon for Neighbors.
Mhm.
One game we haven't really talked about yet is Denver and Chiefs.
Yeah.
Broncos clearly are going to be going like balls to the wall here.
Yeah.
Against Kansas City. I mean, that's pretty fucking exciting, is it not? I mean, we've seen a lot of exciting games from Nix and Sutton in these matchups, and the Chiefs shouldn't be playing anybody. I mean, what is Bo Nix rank this week?
It's QB3.
QB3.
Yeah. I ended up with him on like 6 of my double doink teams this morning when I did my run. It's a great spot. And the thing that is nice, we were talking about these teams that can like win on the ground or win through the air. The Broncos can't win on the ground. Like, their running game is so bad. Like, I think Bo Nix rushes for a lot of yards here. I think they're chucking it. I think they're playing pretty fast. I think it's a pretty good fantasy spot.
Very, very good fantasy spot. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And we have the permission now to draft more Marvin Mims, since he's like kind of breaking out, unless this is, the off week. Maybe this is the week that you don't want Marvin Mims, but I'm fully bought in, man. He just, the little glimpse that we saw from the rookie season, we only got a few weeks of Marvin Mims' rookie season, but starting to see more of that now. I'm super stoked. I'm going to
abstain from the Marvin Mims conversation. Little boom bust for me, but John, if you'd like to address it all out.
It's fine. I think his ADP is a little pushed up too high for my liking, but there's no reason for the Broncos to take their foot off the gas, because them and Miami play at the exact same time. So we're going to have no idea who takes that, irregardless of what happens with the Bengals on Saturday. So both of them will be playing as hard as they can in the afternoon window. So they're going to keep going, attacking, throwing it. I mean, hopefully KC can do enough with Carson Wentz at the helm on the other side to make it competitive so that they don't just burn clock and churn clock in the second half. But yeah.
The Chargers are kind of an interesting one, right? Because they are their motivations determined by what happens with the Steelers. If the Steelers lose, then they're highly motivated, in which case Justin Herbert here versus the Raiders is a pretty sick spot. I mean, they just torched the Patriots. Ladd McConkey was cooking. That'll be kind of one that we're gonna have to wait on, though.
Yeah, so we want the Steelers to win for our Chargers to go all out, correct?
Steelers to lose.
If they win, they're toast.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that one will play big because Ladd has a Q tag, and he doesn't go drafted every single time this morning, but he goes drafted at a decent enough frequency with that 24 ADP there that like people aren't baking in the fact that there's 2 ways he could sit: him not being healthy enough and them not needing to play at all, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy how shallow this slate is at wide receiver. And John, to circle back, I will agree with you. Like, I like Jalen McMillan, but he should not be going ahead of JSN. That is
right. Yeah.
That's wild, man. That is wild.
The ones that stood out to me in a big way were the Seattle ones instantly, because there's also some big Geno incentive stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, it's the perfect storm. It's JSN. I mean, Rams defense has looked better in recent weeks there, but it just looks like the perfect game correlation storm of JSN needs 4 catches. DK Metcalf needs 61 yards. Geno needs a win and 180 yards for double bonuses there. And then Blake Corum might just be Kyron Williams for the day, and it's just like, oh my God, I can just stack the shit out of all of that.
And in a previous life, some GPP bros might have had massive success stacking up Geno and JSN versus this same Rams defense in an overtime game where where Gino couldn't get one more fucking pass to put him into first. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about
who
Number
would ever play
11
those type
just
of games?
scored. Number 11 just
Number
scored.
11, number 11 TD.
Number
That's
11
right.
TD.
What number is Joshua Dobbs? I'm trying to think what Lauren's going to be texting me.
18? I just threw that
Let's
out
see.
there.
Yeah. Number 18 just rushed in another one.
I gotta look right now. 5.
Let's see. The Sutton stuff. London is a strong play.
Sutton has
McLaurin-
incentive stuff too, which is nice. Just a
Yeah.
nice added, like say they go up 14 in the first half, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, like we can kind of start establishing it. They might keep their foot on the gas a little bit more to get Sutton those numbers.
Yeah. Also, man, John, I mean, I should probably give you the floor on this, but it's another Adam Thielen week. I mean, this is the same team that just got roasted by Zacchaeus, like on all levels of the field. Adam Thielen connecting with Bryce on the deep ball. They're going to be in a negative game script. Like, he's a very strong play.
He's had over 5 catches and 50 yards in every game since coming back from the injury. Over 4 catches and 50 yards in every game since he's come back with the injury there. He was on the BBM winning team. Over 5. 5 and 40. 5 and 40 was the number. But, I mean, I took way too much heat all summer long for this. So did Leone for pushing him up in the ETR with the Olds rankings. There's undeniable at this point that him and Bryce Young have a special connection.
It's just so hilarious that like Zach Ertz and him like did nothing for most of the season and then just came alive in the playoffs. Right when the veterans typically
the complete inverse of every week 17 thesis that ever existed.
The only thing that would have been funnier is if like Malik Neighbors had the game he did in week 17, like in week 2. So Malik Neighbors just like set the world on fire first few weeks and then did nothing in the playoffs. And then it was Adam Thielen was the one who did nothing at the beginning and torched down the stretch.
Oh, so good.
Let's see. Let's look at some of the other running back plays at the top. Obviously, we talked about Bijan, Bucky, JT. I think that's a clear tier break. I mean, we just got Josh Jacobs' interview yesterday where he literally said, I do not expect to touch the ball that many times this week.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
That one checks out for sure. The other one I'd ask you guys though, and cash considerations, the JT one kind of scares me. Like,
really?
Yeah, like they get embarrassed last week in a game that they had to win, needed to win, keep their playoff life alive. Now he's had the history of the ankle stuff. Obviously, he's had 2 monster games back to back. But like, I don't know. Like, I like this game environment. I just like playing it like through the pass catchers a little more so. And I could see like, Michael Pittman, JT a little less involved. And it's kind of like Flacco to Pierce, Flacco to Downs, like that kind of.
You're erasing Michael Pittman from the past conversation. How are you slicing him off from this narrative? You're telling yourself
just because of the health with the back. Like I think that guys that are under contract for next year, I don't know. It's anecdotal. Like I'm just throwing it out there to ask you guys because like we know the history of Taylor's ankles. We know they want Richardson next year to lead this, and they think they can sniff playoff contention again. I just think like the ones that they'd be a little safer with would be JT and Pittman, but I don't know.
I have a counter for you, and it's that the Colts right now for a team that's like, I mean, like, treading water, they're not having a great season. For a team like the Colts right now, like they're under so much media scrutiny right now. Like you don't think that the coaches know that? You don't think the players know that like they think that thinks that they are like a shit show? And maybe they are a shit show, but I think they're going to come out and play, just like smash mouth football and try to beat some ass against a divisional opponent. And that includes Jonathan Taylor doing his thing. So I'm on that side of things where I think that they are just like so sick of the noise and sick of, people talking about them that they're going to want to try to come out here and beat some ass.
Yeah. I don't really have any concerns with JT on Underdog. I think he's the RB3, and you could even talk me into him being the RB2, honestly, over Bucky.
Okay.
But I do think it is a big gap to Achane, in Jacobs, in all of these other plays. And I might even like Dobbins and Corum better than those three we just mentioned.
Well, the Dobbins one kind of scares me a little bit with the having to wait for what happens in the Steelers game right now. So I've been pushing up Corum over that group.
That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of moved Jacobs down. I like the Achane, even though it didn't perform last week. I like him better with Tua, obviously. Sounds like we're not going to get Tua now, but leaving the light on for potentially Tua as well. I drafted Tua this morning once or twice, and then just swapped to Huntley if I don't get it. I guess he doesn't stack as well as he would with like the Tua stuff, but I'm fine with the Achane stuff. I mean, we saw James Cook run all over him last week.
Yeah, man, that offense is just so neutered right now. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Corum has been like the most interesting guy for me to talk about. Like when I wrote up my piece for Fantasy Life and I wrote up 4 guys in my shell and I included Blake Corum. And I realized then that I'm like on an island with this when looking at like the projection systems, like he's not showing up. Obviously here, like even behind some other names that he probably shouldn't be. Like, what am I missing about Blake Corum not being a smash this week?
I made a pseudo shell just before this, just to feel what you were feeling coming into this show, and I instantly put him in. So I don't know. Maybe it's the price tag relative to years past. Like normally, like last year, for instance, we got Jordan Mason this week. We got, or we at least had a debate about Jordan Mason this week. We had a debate about Ronnie Rivers at min and that sort of thing. Whereas this year, price tags are a little bit higher up, and it's spend up for running back kind of week in week 18, which is abnormal. Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you though. I see it differently than the models. I like the Corum stuff a lot.
I do too on the surface. I guess the one thing that maybe the models are baking in are the fact that we don't have the sample size on Corum, and also the Seahawks defense has been like kind of pretty good. So,
yeah.
To me, it's like I think it's sharps. It's sharps play where you're going to get all of the work. You're going to catch a few balls. You're going to get the goal line stuff. And yeah, I think it's fair to talk about the matchup a little bit, but we also have the coach speak. I mean, like Sean McVay, like on record saying, I can't wait to see this guy with a heavy workload. That was his literal quote for this week. And we know he's the 1-for-1 guy. The last time a non-Blake Corum or Kyron Williams running back touched the ball for the Rams was in week 4. And it was Ronnie Rivers. Like, I think they're going to give him 20 touches here and be like, knock yourself out, kid. And I think that's pretty exciting, especially in this game environment. We just talked about the Seahawks are going to be pushing and the Rams are going to be committed to getting this game over with as quickly as they can. And the other thing I love about the Blake Corum, they're resting their starters, but a win still really helps them out to avoid the Vikings or Lions in the seeding. So there is like motivation to like win this game with your backups. I just think it's the perfect storm for Corum to be such a strong click this week.
The Rams are effectively in the exact same spot as Washington is, except for they're doing it with maturity and common sense, whereas Washington's old school ball knower, we're going to play our guys stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and like McVay's also smart too, because it's like the whole reason they drafted Corum was so he could be a 1-for-1 replacement of Kyron. I don't think there's a skill gap there. I think you could probably even argue that Corum has a little more juice than Kyron anyways. So yeah, I'm really excited about Corum this week.
So are you guys like in a vacuum? Corum versus Tracy, you guys are in agreement that Corum's greater than Tracy in our game?
I like it. I mean, you could factor in the ownership. You could factor in the ownership discount and like the Tracy stuff more, but I think in a vacuum I like Corum more.
Because the Eagles are not playing any starters.
Yeah.
I like Tracy quite a bit, man. I think it's
what's Tracy's ADP?
That's a really good scroll.
RB 15 right now.
Yeah. That's a really good scroll.
Behind the RB2 for Philadelphia. I mean, he just got 22 touches last week.
On Underdog, and again, the redacted versus Underdog, like Carter and Gainwell look like such maybe a little bit of love for Carter, but Gainwell looks like such a bad pick here.
I love Michael Carter this week, but Gainwell that's hilarious. hilarious. That's hilarious. This is Will Shipley week. Like it's not even close.
Dude, look at week 18. Michael Carter, Kenny Gainwell, Tyrone Tracy had a Brees Hall, Rashad White, Joe Mixon.
That's
Oh,
wild.
wow.
Actually, where did people still drafted Barkley? I guess his ADP is plummeting, but that's still hilarious.
I think he opened as a first round pick. Like I had a buddy, God bless my buddies, man. They've been seeing my success and they want me to like put them on the plays. So I do it. And he's like, dude, I took Saquon higher, 119 rushing yards. Like, am I going to get saved?
You turned your buddies into the reply guys of rescue me, rescue me.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how it works. I'm like, yes, it'll get voided. But why did you do that? So good.
That's hilarious.
There's a couple here I'd like to ask you guys. When you said Mixon, it made me think, do you guys think Texans are going to play anybody?
I know, right? The market doesn't think they will. All these Texans ADPs are 35-9. Every single one. And I don't know what do they gain? Like they're locked up, right?
They're
they
locked into the 4th seed no matter what.
They have zero motivation to do so other than the narrative of they've looked like shit for 4 straight weeks.
I think maybe they could use a day off.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, do they need the day off or do they need to just go, here's 21 on the Titans in the first quarter and then pack it in? Like, it's weird.
I don't think they're a team that's capable of putting up 21 in a quarter.
I know, right?
They're not in a game right now.
That's an interesting little like segue. I haven't done a ton of the playoff best ball drafts and I haven't, done a ton of content on it or watched a ton of content on it either. So I think it's really interesting this year with the dynamic of playoff best ball, how there's a lot of teams that can score a shit ton, but they're not necessarily like it, you know what I mean? Like it feels different than in years past where like teams could score a shit ton and then you need them more to push you through than the traditional like 2-team builds and stuff like that we've seen in years past.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, in the whole thing, like even last year when you got excited about the Texans, it was like the offense is scary. Like, yeah, they're a young team. They have some holes. Like they probably can't make a Super Bowl run, but you don't want to show up against that offense on a Sunday. Like anything can happen. And that just does not feel like that team this year. Like they do not feel scary whatsoever.
Not at all.
Weird. I don't really know what's happening there, but yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, because like if you're looking for like backstacks in playoff contests and stuff like that, like you have like Texans locked in as the 4 seed, but it feels like way more fun to click like Bucks or Rams or something from the other side than that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not as safe, but I mean Rams are as safe now, but in the early draft window they weren't. Anyways, side tangent.
Yeah. Any other names you guys want to mention?
I mean, I do just want to say shout out to Michael Carter, man. I'm excited for Michael Carter. This is the ball knowers slate for Michael Carter. If you know, you know. I mean, we got to see him a little bit. I think it was a primetime game, or maybe it felt like primetime because there was only 2 games in the late slate last week. But I think Michael Carter's a good running back, man. So I'm excited to see him get the bulk of the work against the Niners that are, a little banged up right now. So I'd like to see Carter, get a lot of work here, and I think he will. And I think he's like a very fine running back. So I'm excited about Michael Carter just because I have biases.
Is Trey Benson on IR after missing last week? Is he gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was talking about that with Cardi.
Okay. Cool. The other ones that I'd kind of like just ask you guys and think about out loud or whatever. Tony Redacted with no Tajay Spears, and he has all the incentives in the world. Like he is number 1 in the world, even more so than Mike Evans, to have incentives. They're going to be rotating quarterbacks. I don't know. It feels like fine to click. And then the other thing was the Gainwell conversation we were having there isn't I think it's probably the worst ADP on the board right now. But if Will Shipley doesn't clear concussion protocol, couldn't it be like pretty decent?
Well, the argument Cardi was making to me, and he was almost IKBing his own projection, was they might like Gainwell too much in that they view him as a key piece in that he's not getting saddled up with, 3rd and 4th quarter touches. I don't know who that
That's kinda
leaves
how
on the depth chart beyond him, but like they might not want to run him into the ground here.
Okay, cool. That's kind of
That's how
how
I
I
see it.
feel about Noah Gray. Like Noah Gray's
Right.
ADP right now, I feel very similar in that regard that they like view him as like too much part of the offense and they'd use like Hendershot or something. Looking at the roster right now, Tyrion Davis Price is on the practice squad. And that's it right now for the Eagles. But
That's funny.
a TDP sighting this weekend could be in play.
Yeah.
This feels so
Seems
much
like a
like
spot
preseason.
Sirianni would love to give TDP 20 touches.
Yeah.
Isn't that the funnest part about like week 18 is we're gonna get one of those. Like you're gonna get a TDP-esque guy go for like 102.
Dude, we are getting someone this week who's going to end up with a top 150 ADP in the big board just because of this performance. And we're like, oh, he's a free agent. He's going to end up somewhere and it's never going to come to fruition.
Speaking of which, and not to, this is really putting the cash game gang to the side for a second, but like the dirty things Ricky Pearsall did to his ADP in week 17 is insane. Like it was like a 5-round swing. It might even be more.
No, for real.
Yeah. Because people are going to bake in the timeline of the Ayuk coupled with Debo leaving, and they're just going to go ham on it, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be frothy. I'm scared.
It's so funny that, of course, like Davis and I had like our 8-leg pick'em with all lowers, and the last one we needed was Ricky Pearsall, less than 3 catches, and he goes for a career game.
Oh,
dude,
I didn't see that.
So funny. It was so Davis and I.
I had my pain with regards to that is I had laddered Pearsall across a ton of stuff, just maxed it out. It was like 75 yards or whatever for like a 5 or 6x, but I had it all with Lions, like efficient or attempts unders, like Jared Goff attempts under, Jahmyr Gibbs under 18.5 rushing attempts. Like I played that angle and boy, did I whiff on that.
So you played like Lions would play like half the game or something like that, or they
just
even
like not
more.
half, but like that they just like. But God, I should. Last time I don't listen to Dan Campbell when he says they're gonna go out and fucking bite kneecaps.
Pete, can you bring one up in the chat here? It was at 12 my time, so it's almost like 15 minutes ago, but it's like a big long one there from Greg Dickerson. I just want to give him a shout here. Yeah, pretty cool. 100K and the puppy too, just giving us a shout. Congrats, Greg. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's awesome.
I'm sorry. I mean, I just want to first say condolences for not making the big final of the Badge Bros final. That's a bummer. I don't know how. I hate to see that, but he says, what does he say? He won the puppy 2 for $100,000. Not bad. Congrats, man.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. It's a consolation. I mean, it's enough money to help you fall asleep at night, but it's not enough to have it kind of hanging over your head that you didn't make the preeminent contest finals.
Yeah, but it's okay. That's okay. Not bad. Congrats, Greg. That's awesome. Thanks for hanging out.
There was also a JGFC gifted out 10 membies on your channel there, Pete.
Oh, beautiful. Sorry, I missed these. JGFC, great guy. I know he tailed the pick'em that you guys had yesterday. The D'Lo and Austin Reeves double doubles.
Only Tyler Hero could pull his weight too.
Oh yeah,
it would have been
of course I was on
everything.
I missed the live one. I did get the Tyler Hero one, and then I redid it with Austin Reeves points and assists and didn't get it, and I felt like I missed out on all.
Gross,
but yeah, whatever. Okay. Pent up aggression for Mike Evans. #narrative. There's a third narrative now, or no, that's the
that's the Lattimore all over again.
One. Yeah. You guys want to do a double doink?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Show us how it's done.
Oh, I will. I might just get real IKB here too.
Really? Is that are you allowed to do that? Is that within the cash parameters? Is IK being allowed?
What I've kind of always said is that this game it's half art and it's half science. And I think the perch I'm at, there's a lot of people who are going to be a slave to the ETR opto. There's a lot of people who are a slave to the blitz opto. And I'm going to be over here consuming a lot, looking at everything and cherry picking the best of all worlds and coming up with an unbeatable lineup.
So this is kind of where your want plays get brought out in the drafts.
Well, and this is the beauty of playing in the double doink. I'm going to get access to some plays that I might not get. Like I'm not going to get to Jonathan Taylor in cash this week, but I can get to him from the 1-3 in our double doink contest right now.
I gotcha.
Unless John's going to completely change his mind on the narrative. Do you think we have that much sway? He's going to completely go off now.
Can't wait to get those 11 carries.
Are you you might be Mike Evans at 102, it sounds like, John.
In the regular contest, because of the lack of ceiling at wide receiver late, yeah. In this contest in particular, I think I would take Bucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious if you guys would prefer a wide receiver early start in these, because I think I kind of do.
Yeah. This is really interesting because I think you can legit make an argument to take Bowers here. I will take the opportunity to I'll grab Evans here, even though I said I like Brian Thomas more.
Yeah, I see the Bowers consideration for cash, right? I mean, that does give you a chance to really, if he does have that separating week and you have like 100% Bowers, like you're almost certainly finishing above that cash line.
How do you guys feel about McBride this week? We didn't talk about him much.
He got in the end zone, so now he doesn't want to try as hard.
Like post contract year, like he's already locked it up. He's good.
Yeah, he's kicking back now. He's not too concerned. I mean, it's always tough to like pin the motivation on like defeated teams. Maybe the floodgates have opened, as a counter, and now it's Trey McBride City. I think if you were putting motivations aside, McBride is like a clear tight end too. Like almost as soon as Bowers goes, you should snap pick McBride.
Agreed.
Which is probably
Agreed. Play it. I'm gonna have to mess with my rankings here. It's a busy week for me. I will be maxing the double doink. I don't know if I will be hand drafting all of my double doinks, so I'm gonna have to mess with my ranking sets. I'll go 2 wide receivers here. We were talking about all the rookies. I think there is kind of a tier gap here in the next pick or two, so I'll grab Neighbors.
I want to ask the king a question here. How do you factor in correlation patterns and the VORP conversation when it comes to building your double doinks?
Well, VORP is a huge part of it. We've just talked about Bowers potentially as early as 2 or 3. Now, correlation patterns, that is completely incidental. Someone screenshotted one of my doink lineups where I happen to have a double or a single stack with a Brock Bowers bring back. That was completely coincidental. Sometimes the best plays are just happen to be correlated. All right.
Yikes, Pete. All right.
Hey,
I guess so.
Look, everyone needs to chill out. Everyone needs to chill out right now.
I mean, it's weird.
All right, we'll grab Sharps here. Start Sharps, Evans, and Neighbors. Man, this is a great week for the double doink. I can't imagine playing tournaments this week personally.
I doing 50-50s on Underdog, that was like actually awesome. Like I did it like Numi threw out some hoops ones like they're just so fun because they're just like easy, right? You just do your ranks, best plays, and then you just fire off. Like it really is just like such a beautiful way to help like farm rake back, which I love to do, as we all know.
Yeah, this is boost your gladiator numbers up this week in the double doink.
Yeah, maybe reach a new tier, earn a few more bucks in that payout on Wednesday.
Matt, like have some goals in life for once, and one of those should be reaching a new tier in the gladiator.
The money must be watching here. He goes with the Quorum Gino instantly. Damn it.
I know.
I got to ask one more question associated with your double doinkage here is are you afraid of getting consolidated at the onesies position because of the variance it introduces? So if you put Bowers at 1, 2, or 3 and ran 130 of them.
That I completely agree, and that's why I haven't done that yet. And I also think George Kittle is such a strong play. So, I think in a perfect world, I'd have like 40% Bowers, 30% McBride, 20% Kittle, and then 10% of the field.
Okay.
I'm going to take Kyler Murray here. I think after the Bo Nix and Kyler Murray, we already mentioned some of the issues with Herbert potentially and motivation. And then, you're really into the Wild West after that.
Yeah, I got nothing after those.
Will you be building any wide receiver flex lineups in the double doink?
Any what?
Wide receiver flex.
Well, I'll tell you what, I already accidentally have one tight end flex before I got my ranking sorted out. We have a little Trey McBride, George Kittle action there going old bully ball.
Interesting. Well, you hypothetically weaken the field. Well, it's not
exactly
much projection. So maybe it's a new strategy. It's
in your self-contained 6-person double doink leagues, the double tight end is a very profitable strategy.
All right, John, where are you going here? Who's the florist play here?
Oh, we're going with your boy here.
Yeah,
this is a scroll for floor. That's what we call that one. Floors and roars all in one.
Yeah, you want to know floor? It's capturing every single point from the Arizona Cardinals via Kyler Murray and Michael Carter.
Jeez, we're gonna have to start questioning the title there, but we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide.
I am going to this is what happens though when you miss out on the top 3 tight ends, you end up in tight end hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like by ADP, it's Zach Ertz, who again got to rest that brother for the playoffs. Kyle Pitts, yikes, the least caps option I've ever heard. Shig is kind of interesting, hasn't seen less than 5 targets over the past 3 weeks. Tucker Kraft, nothing to play for. It's honestly it's like Hunter Henry or Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
And Henry has a Q tag.
So does Drake May now. They might not play Drake May. Yeah.
Oh,
so
shoot.
We got a Drake May Q tag there. And then the Chig one, double quarterback stuff, all that volume came with Mason Rudolph at the helm. They're going to start Will Levis. So yeah.
Double quarterback. That's some Arthur Smith ass shit right there. Being like, yeah,
the ghost of Arthur Smith, pulling the strings there from two games ago.
We got to see both these guys in the exact same conditions, weather, game, opponent, everything to really judge them.
It's a real life mid-off. I've never seen it.
I just had to take Jake Ferguson and hope that Trey Lance features him in the second half.
Here's a cash game question here. Do you take? I'm not on the Herbert stuff because I'm scared that they're going to play this early in the week. Do you take the correlation of the Dobbs or the Penix?
Go Dobbs because Penix might complete like 10 passes. They're gonna if that game gets out of hand. Dobbs, you get the rushing floor.
All right.
Correlation is accidental. It doesn't,
In both cases.
Yeah, exactly. I think Bryce Young is also naked. Bryce Young could be in consideration there too, but there is some correlation, unfortunately, with the run back.
What about Tyler Huntley this week? Like just in general, 24 fantasy points last week, ran for like 50 plus yards. I mean, that's a rushing floor. We can agree on a rushing floor, can we not?
Who do they got? They got the Jets.
Yeah, Jets just got 40 hung on them.
Yeah, what the hell?
I don't know.
What's his ADP?
I did it a couple of times. He's like QB 14.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely in a BR for sure.
Yeah.
But Pete doesn't even have that on his Underdog homepage right now.
Oh, right.
They removed it from the back end for him.
Hearing all this talk from John makes me want to let's scroll down to let's go slate, main slate, $3, $4, $5, $10, $25, $50, $100 two-person Peters entering right now. Meet me in the lobby, John.
Let's go.
Oh, it's filled. Was that you?
Well, it's because I'm in it.
Okay,
Here we go.
Oh, sorry, I forgot who else was.
Influencer 101.
Wow, this is.
Get ready to learn Vort, buddy.
I wish we had a sizzle for this.
Hey,
man.
I should put on the music to ramp up the intensity here.
Yeah, you have like the rock and roll, like the stock rock.
No, not this one.
Oh,
this is the one we use for the world's fastest slow draft. That gets me pretty amped up here. All right, John, talk us through it. 101. Who's it going to be?
This is going to be Bijan for me. I like the Bijan spot. I like the carries. Like the matchup. And they got all the world to play for it. 20 plus touches for Bijan Robinson at the 101 today.
I like it. Have nothing bad to say about that play. I think I know what I'm going to do to you.
I'm going to put.
How do you beat the Bijan team, Pete? How do you beat the Bijan team?
I told you, you come for the VORP. You come for the VORP. Bam, Brock Bowers. Bam, Baker Mayfield. Recover, John. Recover.
Now, this is a tough spot because I don't know if I want to encapsulate the pass game points of Baker Mayfield and hedge myself here. I'm going to go direct against you. I'm locking up the running back position instantly with this. I'm taking Bucky Irving, and then I'm getting ahead at the wide receiver, Brian Thomas.
This is what I like. I forced you into building a worse version of my team. We are going to do the unthinkable and open ourselves up to a teeny bit of variance with the Evans stack, but really Baker's day is going to be tied to Mike's, and then we're going to grab Jonathan Taylor here at running back, who I think is just as strong of a play as Bucky.
Classic fish heads up mistake because I've already filled my running back position. You were going to get Jonathan Taylor no matter what. So you could have taken your second wide receiver there, opening the door for me to get Malik Neighbors in this heads up affair here. And now it doesn't matter if I take tight end or quarterback first. And I'm going to take tight end Trey McGronk here. Finds
Here's
end
the
zone
thing.
again.
John thinks he has a gotcha moment, but the only gotcha moment is he doesn't remember who Malik Neighbors' quarterback is. Whereas I am going to select a man who has one of the best quarterbacks on the planet in Drake London with Michael Penix Jr. And then you know what we're going to do? We're going to put our nuts on the table here with our third running back. And we're going to grab Blake Corum. We already sung his praises. We're going to put our money where our mouth is that Blake Corum is undervalued right now. Who's the final quarterback here, John?
That I respect in a big way here. I want to stay true to my roots here, Pete, with this. I know that people want me to take the highest projecting quarterback. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm staying true to my roots. I'm playing into the correlation angle here. We get a little bit of rushing floor. We scroll the F down to QB4 in the head-to-head, and we take Kyler Murray with Trey McBride.
Wow. I think you I thought you were going to take Bo Nix for sure.
Wow.
Nez, let's get Nez's commentary here on this head-to-head.
I mean, John with the Bijan pick definitely has my heart, and Bucky too in 14 game or 14 point spread. Those are two great starts to this. But Brock Bowers, I would give the slight lean to Bowers over McBride. I do give the lean to Mayfield over Kyler. JT, strong pick as well. Dude, this is tough. I mean, this is like asking me to pick a favorite child. I think I'm go ahead before I go.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I need to get your analysis.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to lean John.
I think this comes down to the Blake versus Bucky gap and the Baker versus Kyler gap. Like those are going to be the two matchups that swing this. Because the Baker gap also comes with like, if Baker laps Kyler, it means Evans is probably going nuke as well. And then same for you. If Kyler goes nuts, it also means McBride's keeping pace with Bowers. So I think it all comes down to our quarterbacks, honestly.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun sweat.
If you could do it all over again, Pete, do you take tight end? Because nobody's
that I
taking
don't have.
two.
I definitely messed up taking the running back first, but honestly, like I think I prefer London's floor in the head-to-head over Neighbors to where it didn't really matter to me. I guess I'm thinking. I think my thought is I give you too big of an edge. Like if I go Bowers and then Bucky, I feel like I'm giving you too big of an edge getting to go Baker and then your choice of Brian Thomas or Evans. Like I wanted to try to put you at a disadvantage at two positions right away because I knew you already had the best play there.
Yep. I think the easiest spot to punt is second flex as a running back, and then you did it with the Blake Corum there.
And that's the weakest. That's the one I think for both of us. QB2 and the last running back taken are the toughest picks because it's pretty flat. Like I considered Tony Pollard. He's got the incentives, good matchup. I think pretty good floor, but having not played and stuff there, I feel like there's some risk there where I think I'm getting 18 touches from Blake Corum.
I'm team Corum with you this week too. So I like that.
Yeah.
Well done.
That was fun. Let's see here, guys. Do you guys want to build some pick'ems with insurance?
Emphasis on the latter.
I will play the sizzle, but I just want you guys to know I will personally be building the unspiciest of pick'ems today.
Pick'ems, spicy margs, radioactive spice.
Let's spice it up, slop it up.
I mean,
Slide. Just
permission to slide, Your Honor.
you sliders.
That's a 65X. That makes me feel things.
Oh.
All right. Permission to not slide, Your Honor.
Permission denied.
Can we please start off by leaning into this bit so hard, Pete, and sliding down? Like, can we please do some like 0.8x picks for you right now?
I want to build like a 10 leg of all like 0.3x's. That's that reminds me when I first like started going to Vegas with my buddies, and like they would always, their favorite thing to do was like on a college football, or it would be a college basketball Saturday, I think, just take like the 10 biggest favorites and parlay them all together. It was like plus 220.
Yeah.
10 games and just pray that none of them get upset. And it's just like the dumbest sweat, but they absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, I got buddies that still do that.
They call it the system. They're like, they look for big home favorites in college basketball. They're freaks. Absolute freaks.
We did a Secret Santa gift exchange with the boys there on like whatever after Christmas there, and one of the guys built a 10-leg $100 parlay. It was $100 limit, $100 parlay, and like printed it all out and gave it on Saturday for the Sunday there. No, and then we play like the swap thing, and everyone thought it was ass, so it got swapped back to him. So he was just left holding his $100 parlay.
That's amazing.
That's good.
All right. We got to slide down Bijan.
Yeah, I mean, we could take not to reveal the shell, but we could take Pete's like 3 favorite plays on the slate, and then we could slide them all down for safety, and we could get ourselves a nice 2.5xer.
That sounds really nice. That's better than putting it in a Vanguard fund.
It's safer.
Way safer.
Do you want to slide scrimmage yards? As Nez is the whisperer, I'll default on rush or scrimmage here.
I would do just rush. Just slide the rush to 80.
Okay. Yeah, get that one down there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. That looks nice.
Pete, you alluded to the fact that you might like Brian Thomas more this week than Mike Evans.
Are they even allowing people to slide below Evans' incentive?
They just pulled his receiving stuff. I don't know if there was some news that came through for the Saints or Bucks that they're refreshing, but I don't think you could.
JGFC in the chat just says they pulled 69.5 0.7x. They got ahead of it.
They heard us coming.
They heard us sliding.
Yeah, what is do you they're not letting us slide receptions yet on him, right?
Nope.
No,
I don't even have a receptions number.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Now sliding this down is
hilarious.
The word free, but it's free.
49.5 feel like a cozy slide blanket.
God,
I can't believe they're letting us do this.
This really shouldn't be allowed.
All right, what's next?
Let's slide Brock.
Nothing for Bowers right now. They're scared.
Wow.
They're scared of the incentive train. What about Bucky?
Okay.
Yeah.
No Bucky yet.
Wow, did they pull all the Buck stuff right now?
A bunch of news.
I wonder. So Kate Otten was just listed as doubtful, so I bet that stuff's refreshing.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff refreshing right now for some reason. Quorum? Anybody? No, he doesn't even. Yeah, Quorum's up here. Let's go. Got to play.
Let's see what do we got for Quorum.
I want to save the Quorum for. Okay. Well, we could do both.
Beggars can't be choosers right now, John.
Dude, 39.5. Why haven't we been doing this all year? We actually could have won, guys. What is this? A
1.93x.
Dude, double it up. Let's go.
If you flex it, you lose money by putting you literally get less money back. I can't believe that's a thing.
The flex is to get it. The flex is to get it extra safe. That's the Nez hedge is the flex.
Can you actually less money back if you hit?
I'm gonna need you to drop this link in our private chat here.
Doubling this up, this 50 into 96.50.
Oh my god, this is
don't call it an L word.
Holy shit. I can't wait. We have to share the shit out of this if this bangs, when this bangs. Nobody does it better than often on the clock.
We gotta do the thing that people used to do on Redacted when they'd win, they'd like win the Thunderdome, but then they would have lost 50,000 in other entries or whatever, but it just shows you're winning. So I'm gonna block out how much I had to wager to
there you go.
All right, I'm gonna see. I got to do. I'm betting 105 to make sure I can win 200 here.
Oh, true. The true double up.
Yeah.
All right, where are we headed next?
Spice. Is it time? Is this you and I's turn, John?
Yeah. I mean, I could be talked into some spice for sure.
Ooh, we also have a no sweat. Oh, that's NBA only.
NBA
I just realized. Well, you guys, I think you guys should give out a no sweat NBA pick for us too.
Okay.
I did earlier. I put out one. I was very excited about it. It was 139x. 5 minutes later, it got cut down to 59x.
Whoa.
I mean,
apparently we should have been sweating it.
Holy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening right now, but we've got a lot of eyes on the plays. A lot more pressure on the boys to deliver for the shareholders. So
they weren't worried. They weren't worried for so long, and then one double, and everyone gets worried. 100x from Nez, everybody gets worried.
They're scared, man. They're scared. All right, should we get spicy?
Yeah.
I'll take a swig of my water.
Yeah,
there you go. Let's spice. What do you like, Nez?
I like doing a Bo Nix spice. I feel like they're just gonna probably play balls to the wall here, and Bo Nix should be slinging that shit. I was just gonna say, just like a 250 passing yards on Bo Nix, 1.4x to get the party started. You know, kind of keep the traditions of cash game week in, not going too spicy, but 249 doesn't seem too far.
I'll play along. I got him down to 189.5 passing yards.
Thanks, Pete. Keep us posted on your happenings.
Which number did you like here? The 249, Ness?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a slide, not a spice, but I will allow it.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to keep some of the, you know, the cash game traditions alive here.
All right.
This is the part where you tell me something.
I like Jacoby Myers this week. It's a guy we haven't talked about yet, just in general. Has some incentive stuff as well. I think they're going to be slinging that shit. I like the fact that it's so concentrated between both him and Bowers. So I wouldn't mind doing a little slide on the Jacoby Myers stuff. You could tell me to go touchdown. You could tell me to go, 1.5x for a 79.5 here. Feels very doable. Feasible, as the kids might say.
79.5. I like that.
Yeah.
39.5.67 there for my Cash Kings. Looking pretty juicy.
What do you like more, Ness? 79.5 or a touchdown from him? Because they're virtually the same.
Yeah. Let's do the 79.5.
Okay.
It'll feel better.
Sounds good to me. And then maybe something that's incentive based. I would throw out the Tony Pollard. I would throw out the Mike Evans. I would throw out the Seattle stuff that I love, but I wouldn't mind using Seattle as a slop it up fest.
What do we got for Tony Pollard?
Little scared of the injury, but nothing.
We got to get conclusive practice reports there. And then the other one that you mentioned, Seattle.
I kind of want to do a slop it up fest of Seattle and Rams and do like Corum and then Geno double and something like that. I like that game, and I like Colts. I like the Colts game as well to do some kind of like game stacky stuff. But
I'm gonna throw out Tyrone Tracy.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Scrimmage yards, just a cool hundo for Tyrone Tracy. I think they're excited to have this guy in their future. I guess you could argue, hey, maybe they don't want to, maybe they want to rest him, but I don't know, man. Daboll, this could be Daboll's last dance. So I think he loves Tyrone Tracy. I think we could see him unleashed here against the Eagles backups.
Dude, I like this call. I like all of this seems like feasible and not too outlandish to get to 30x. Yeah,
I love it. Like I'm actually pretty surprised that this is 30x. So
yeah,
34 gets you a cool rack.
For those playing along with me, we build a 1.77x here. If I Tyrone Tracy down to 49.5. The juice is definitely worth the squeeze if you're trying to build a bankroll.
You're doing those viral ladder challenges.
Yeah, I'll drop this one in the private chat for you guys.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete. Doubling up our roll.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of how I would play it. However much you're gonna lose on the one John and Nez made, bet enough to win that back via the one I made, and then you're essentially you're free rolling it.
That's Cash Game King and Nez Hedge meet in the middle right there.
That's beautiful. They're gonna name that something someday. I don't know what, but that's a beautiful strat.
Do we have anything definitive about Cade Otton yet? We just got that doubtful. You guys said doubtful.
Yeah, and that's a downgrade because he was trending better yesterday, so I don't. Yeah. That's bad.
They said game time decision this morning too, so that was bad.
Yeah,
I think that might have just given you a cash game tight end.
In pain in the membrane.
I don't know. What was it?
Culp?
Culp was last week. Yeah, Culp was the guy last week.
Yeah, we're slowly getting some Evan stuff back. They threw up the 99.5 receiving yards, no slide. They're just like, if you get, they know people want it, so they're like, there it is. You can play that.
It's some dirty business when they show the incentives package and like it looks like it's like this is the number they have to get the incentive. It's like actually it's 10 yards lower than that.
That is dirty. All right, you want to go slop it up fest?
I kind of want to do 2 slop it up fests. I kind of want to do Jags Colts and I kind of want to do Seahawks Rams.
All right.
Do you like those games, Pete?
Yeah.
How do you want to start this off here?
Did they have attempts for Quorum?
I don't think so yet.
Okay.
Quorum 1.5 to this 6.95.
Yeah, I like that start.
And then I like JSN catches, DK Metcalf yardage, Geno 2 passing. Like
throw it in there.
That.
Throw it in the
Sounds like someone's already really thought this through.
Take us home, John. I mean, please.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, if we get this one up to the 6.5, he only needs like the 4 or whatever. DK's number is right around here, but you can go up an extra like 5 yards. You can also do DK with like the longest reception, and then you don't get Doc too heavy if you go the passing touchdowns. Wow, it's only 0.88. That gets us to 14.4-ish.
14 for 4 is good. You know, it's 4x higher than the 10, and there's correlation involved here. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is so lame. I'm actually kind of even into it.
All right, let's get it in.
Yeah. Share that in the private chat, por favor.
Like it fits nicely and it feels slightly underpriced. I don't know if people are believers in the Rams defense over the last couple of weeks and what we've seen. There's been a bit of a change, but I don't know.
I think market sentiment is that like when I think people just don't want to believe that the Seahawks have anything to play for, which is, I guess, technically true in the win column, but you outline the incentives, like divisional matchup. They're going to go out and want to play. They want to go out and get a win here. They need a little morale booster.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
Also young coaching staff too, right? Like they're all first-time guys. Like Grubb's first-time OC, McDonald's first-time head coach. Like these guys feel like prove it mode.
Yeah.
Put a winning season together on your resume.
Yup.
Do you guys like the idea of going to that Colts one?
Yeah,
next?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fell for that Downs chalk super hard. Super hard. Everywhere that I could play fantasy football. I absolutely went off on that and didn't work out in my favor.
No.
Didn't work out in my favor, guys. One of the like even whenever I was playing dog bowls, last week was probably my worst week on the season ROI wise. And that's really? Including my dude. I took a bat last week. Like I see it all season. Baker Mayfield just like, hey guys, like I'm a top 5 quarterback this year. And I'm just like, not get out of my face. Get out of my face. So zero Baker Mayfield last week. So that's how my day went.
I thought I was gonna have a really nice day because I had 3. I think go in the main BR. I had 3 of the nuts plus 2 live going into the late. So I had the neighbors Thielen, Evans, Baker, and then I just needed to like match the score of Bucky
I remember seeing your team
push back.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them. I think I had like 3 of them that were all some variation of that, or one without neighbors, like a bunch with, because I ran that Baker, Bucky, Evans, Thielen like 15 times or something. Like
That's
I had a
awesome.
decent week, but I thought I was gonna smash something, but didn't work out. Let's do
Brian
this.
Thomas, man, get that
Slide it up.
receiving yard number out of my face, and let's crank that shit up.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think it's a good place to start. Do you want to go all the way as high as like the 120s?
Well,
Like stuff like that?
Let me actually double check first that we can't do receptions, because that's
They
been
did
like,
just add receptions. I see it on my screen.
oh,
okay.
yeah, that's been the way that you play Brian Thomas, because you get so much multiplier for, like, I mean, for my money, better, a better chance of hitting. So,
Yeah.
How many catches did Neighbors have against them last week? Let's see.
is it like 12?
It was only 7. It was all
Yeah.
yak. Yeah, it was 7 for 171.
So I say we take this to 9.5. 10,
9.5?
10 Brian Thomas catches. Like, he's just popping off.
I respect it. Yeah.
Um,
I do think the only way he doesn't get here is like what Pete just alluded to, where it's like he scores too fast. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, on the flip side, I mean, what is that? 4? What was that? 4? Oh, we just got rid of it.
I missed it. Sorry.
Two touchdowns is 5.8, but pick your poison. While you load that back up there, would you rather go passing side of that game, John, or look at Jonathan Taylor?
I like the passing stuff. Like I like
Okay.
the Flacco, Alec Pierce, like longest reception, like stuff like that.
Do you want to go Flacco passing touchdowns?
Yep, sure, good with it.
1x, and then we can spice up around. I mean, we don't need. We're gonna run out of multiplier if we get too crazy. So let's build this around a Brian Thomas Nuke game.
Yeah.
So there's 10.
You should run this twice just from the peanut gallery, once with a yard slider and once with a reception slider.
Okay, cool. And then do you want to run, like, I would just instantly add like one more receiver and run it as like a 3.
Okay.
We could run it as a 4 because I think we can get to like 30-ish X, kind of like the last one we did, if we just slide our favorite receiver.
Yeah, so it's a matter of we get more payout for Pittman.
I still think it's Downs.
Yeah. Okay.
The Pittman games with Flacco splits though have been pretty nice.
I know. I still believe in Downs.
Yeah.
How should we do it?
I think if you use Downs, you do yards, and if you use Pittman, you use receptions.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. We could run this multiple times. Okay, let's do this. Let's see what Downs gets us if we get up to like, is 89.5 too insane for Josh Downs?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's split this into a couple here.
I mean, I just want to
25.
play an 80x pick'em. Like, it's so bad. So I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Let's run this one with Pittman. Let's like split your unit or whatever, because it's 80x.
Okay, and then Pittman to like 7.5 is 102x. Yes. And then I'm like 3 steps ahead of you here.
Yeah, no, you're good. So Flacco 2 touchdowns. Michael
Did you not
Pittman,
use the reuse button?
7.5. I did not hit the reuse button.
Oh,
like a fish.
brother, get efficient. Get efficient. Like, I'm punting off pick'ems quicker than anybody's ever seen in their life.
Which gladiator tier did you hit for pickups, Des?
Oh, I mean, I should be like in a tier of my own. They should give me my own bust for the way that I'm firing off at these pick'ems. You only see the highlight reel on Twitter. How high up do you want to take Brian Thomas yards? Or are you still on the reception stuff?
I'm going to do it with the receptions. We said 9.5 the first go around, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll do that one. I'll share it in the chat again.
Because I was thinking it's tough because it's like, some of these yardage sliders, like I feel like that these should be giving us more payback.
On the oh my god. When I click the screen to get back from sharing in the chat to that, it just disappears. That's why.
So look at these. To get to what we were getting for 10 catches, you really got to get nutty.
The thing is the thing about Brian Thomas is we all know he has the big playability. Just what he's done lately has been way more reception based, but he can still absolutely do what Neighbors did and take a couple passes to the house. I think so.
Does 140 sound
that in a slop it up game? 140 is not crazy. Now, personally, I would slide that down to 23 for 0.1x.
23
hypothetically,
of course, and we're this is all theory here. All right, I'm doing it.
The other thing you could do is you could slide 2 scores.
Yeah, I do. I am interested in that.
I'll look at that real quick while you do that one, and then you can send me a link for that. Because 2 scores is 5.81.
That's pretty awesome.
So if you do the 2 scores, and then you go back to the game, and you just run it with Flacco like we did, and then just Pittman receptions, for instance, without even sliding it, it's gone. Downs yardage, no slide.
Yeah,
you get to 31. Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame anybody for just wanting to, to rather than not thread more than one needle. I don't blame anybody for wanting to do that.
And even if you go up, what is that? 10 yards, 15 yards, you can get to 50x.
Sure.
Can I give you one more? Just, I'm not going to place it. I would never place it, but just being a friend, just, being an enabler. Because I've been in your guys' shoes before and I know what it's like. You do Brian Thomas 1.5 TDs and you hedge your Flacco stuff with a JT slide to 139.5 rushing yards, and you give the chat a nice 88xer. I don't know how I know that.
Sure.
Just checking.
I mean, is that mental math?
Yeah, just kind of mental math. I'm a recovering pick-a-math.
You cut out there. Rushing yards, 139.
Yep. Nez, I don't know if you checked the box score, but he's been at 218 and 125 the past 2 weeks. So,
Weird that isn't 1x for 139 if you were doing a moving average of 2 games. That makes no sense. That's beautiful.
Because as you guys know, in these slop it up fests, there's nothing worse than being directionally accurate and then just being wrong on how the points flow.
It's also weird that Jonathan Taylor scored 3 touchdowns 2 games ago, and you can get that for 8.9x.
I will say the gap, the gap from 1.5 to 2.5 for his touchdowns is hilarious. 2.02x for 2 is absurd, but then it's
you're out of your gourd, buddy. Too bad. Oh wow, I found the perfect play. Just one last one. Just one last play. It's absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor 3 scores. Brian Thomas 8.5 receptions. You are never gonna guess. This is for the bros out there. You're never gonna guess what that comes out to.
Nez, not all of us win an NBA every night. We can just afford these.
It's a 69x, guys. Come on,
69x for 3 touchdowns.
Isn't that just hilarious?
Yeah.
We're cash game week. We're too good for 69 jokes. Damn. That's the last I got. I'm tapped out. Tapped out. There's too many people thinking that I can't
Give the people who missed the NBA one earlier, one for our no sweat here to close.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, sure. Here's the one that I did play. Now, mind you, the multiplier is way down.
Let's make a fresh one then. If the multiplier is way down, let's make a fresh one.
Okay.
Fresh.
Yeah,
we want a freshie.
All right, let's do a freshie. Let's start with DeJounte Murray. And do we still have a multiplier for like a decent multiplier for his double-double? Let's see what that comes out to. He's up against Washington.
Double-double's 1.18 on him.
Triple-double is 4.8. That's a lot.
Rough.
Yeah, that's not what.
Yeah.
So let's just type in triple-double and let's just go triple-double hunting.
That's how the sausage gets made, huh?
I mean, if they're going to give us this wonderful query, I mean, I'm going to use it. All right. So, John, you can stop me in my tracks if you think that I'm just like chasing the Jalen Johnson game that I didn't get against Denver because he got scratched miraculously. He's at shoot around, should be playing. The Lakers are basically Denver with how they've been playing right now.
They got good wing defense, though.
Oh, come on. Give me a break. Are you serious?
I love how Nez goes, hey, John, you can stop me if you think I'm out of my department. Get it? I guess you didn't actually want some feedback on that.
No, I wanted to be encouraged. Oh, God. Hold on.
Dude, I kind of like the IQ Scotty Bullway stuff today without RJ. I know Orlando has this like narrative that they're good defensively. They have not been good defensively since all the injuries, like for real. So that one kind of stood out to me.
I did do IQ double-double in my initial no sweat.
There you go.
Let's do IQ double-double.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I also like the injury. Like he's been downgraded twice and then held out of a ball game with that same shoulder, right? Like this thing
downgraded once, I think.
It happened earlier in the season, did it not?
He missed a game earlier in the season. It might have been shoulder, it might not have, but he was a shoot around. When you're at shoot around.
No, yeah. I'm not disparaging that at all. I was just thinking.
There he is.
Is this the top 10 battle royale player and enjoyer of Sal Vetri tweets, the Mr. Michael Nesbitt?
Dub City 814 in the flesh.
Wow.
Red badge in the lobbies. Put some respect on his
head to
name.
head, Michael.
What do you got? Okay, John. Here's another one. What about Domantas Sabonis going up against Memphis?
Yeah,
Face-up spot, 242 total. The points and rebounds are in the bag. We know he's getting there on points and rebounds.
It's a bad spot if they play small and he gets JJJ at the 5. It's a better spot if Brandon Clark or Edie are healthy tonight because they both have the Q tag right now.
You know, none of these triple doubles have odds that are like in our favor. You know that?
I'm aware. That's why I'm looking for like super optimal situations like the D'Angelo yesterday.
This one. He's been 3 assists away from this in 3 straight games.
Like it's the assists that we're worrying about. It's not like the boards are there.
Right.
John, I don't know if you know,
which is where JJJ comes into play, right?
This is a no sweat token. I'm literally not going to sweat it.
That's true. I forgot that we're doing like $10 no sweat. We're trying to just shoot the moon.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I lost the plot.
You followed instructions. I asked you to talk me off if you thought so, and you did, and I didn't like it, but I got what I asked for. So Sabonis triple dub, IQ double dub.
Yeah.
And what does that put us at?
Could even that gets you to a 34. You could even tack on a couple straight ones that aren't huge multipliers.
Yeah, like one more after this. It would put us at 69x, I believe, or 68x if we did 68.
68x for a straight.
What's the Bane stuff look like? I love Desmond Bane tonight.
It's pretty pricey.
Okay. Yeah. 34.5.
You know what I'm really into is like I have a lot of Jamal Murray in drafts right now.
Okay.
I think Jamal Murray or Jordan Poole against the Pelicans, and kind of play the other.
Let's do both.
Love it.
Let's get this up. We're not sweating this. Let's shoot for the moon.
Okay. Jordan Poole.
PRA.
I'm cool with just PRA. I think points and assists also is a good way to play Jordan Poole as well. 25.5 for points and assists. I think I like that more.
Yeah, I like that more. I like that more.
That gets us to a 68. And then if we just do, you pick your favorite, Murray is getting you to 114. That's the sweet spot right here for the no sweat.
I like Jamal more than DeJounte tonight, I think.
Okay.
Which spot did you like on the Jamal stuff earlier?
I think I just like I think I like a points and assists on Jamal as well. 27.5. That seems to be his game. 114x.
He's been hooping recently too.
I know he had a down game the last time out. It was just really goofy. It was a crazy good spot. It's a four pick max. So thank you, Consigliere, for stopping us in our tracks. And don't forget to apply that no sweat there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Apply that 10 for. Ooh, there we go. We're cooking.
All right, guys.
A fun one.
It was I'm sorry you guys couldn't talk about your little scroll down plays today, but it's nice to give the people some winners for once. The good plays. You guys will be able to catch me in the double doink streets. Anything else you guys want to mention? Ned, you mentioned your maybe TBD for a stream tonight.
Yeah, it's looking doubtful, but we could get something last minute up depending on how early my sister and my mom are going to bed tonight. But I would plan. I'm definitely trending doubtful, but more game time decision. So we will see. We got a lot of new members out, so I'd love to do something for them.
You're the Kate Otten of No Strip Streams.
I am the Kate Otten of No Strip. I'm the Kate Otten of a lot of things.
But
I will say, a good UW boy.
He's kind of like the Jalen Johnson in that he was at the OOTC shoot around today. So
I was spotted at shoot around.
Is your family staying with you now, Nez?
Yeah, my mom, my sister, and my niece are coming up. We're having my wife's baby shower this weekend. So yeah, I've been like making too many trips to Kroger, setting up some things around here. So we'll see if I've got time. But yeah, busy weekend, but maybe I can squeeze something in.
It's amazing that you extend your own family such great courtesy when they come to Dallas, but Pete and I have to shack up together and share a bed elsewhere instead of staying at your humble abode, eh?
My wife has a hound nose right now. I can't even have a single beer and get in the same bed as her without her yelling at me. So you boys,
I don't think we belong.
Do I smell Canadian in my house?
And from the upstairs guest room, that you would be spotted, and it would simply not work. So I would have loved to have hosted you guys. I promise.
Oh, that's awesome, buddy.
That's me for tonight.
All right. Beautiful. Hop in the double doinks. Like I said, we also have the rake free double up on redacted. That's in the announcement section of the Deposit Kingdom. You guys can send me head to heads if you want to get in that action. I'm going to run a solo after dark tomorrow. No idea what we'll get up to, but if you guys want to come hang, maybe the shell will start to come into crystal clear focus. But we'll have to, next week will be the Friday before the wild card weekend. It'll be a it'll be a big show.
Oh yeah.
We are going to have playoff best ball drafts. We are going to have wild card BR, and we will have pickups to build. So it'll be a jam-packed show next Friday.
Awesome.
And I'll talk to you guys because I'm not going to have a GPP show. So we can maybe even go a little earlier to make time for everything.
Perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be massive. Those are some of the best BR slates. Those playoff ones.
And I have still not drafted a single playoff best ball team, so I'm gonna be playing massive catch up next week.
Get in there.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your week. Play only the best plays. Actually win money for once in your guys' goddamn lives. We'll see you guys next time on Off and on the Clock.